There were a few things that kind of rankled a bit, but for the most part, it was nice.
Good. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah.
You know. All right. Now I wanna bring this conversation, make it a little political. Um, if you could only see one movie, which one would you see? Fantastic Four or Superman?
Superman.
Probably Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Uh, Superman, I guess, but I'm sort of burned out of superhero movies.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, it's odd because they're like going head to head. It seems like trying to well get everybody's money. But they both look good. But I think I'm tired of Marvel. I'm excited for Superman. So, but I don't know. It might suck. It might be good. It might be bad. Who knows?
Why can't they make any new movies or series? Ever since Star Wars and all those good movies, they haven't been able to make a good new series or movie.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
well. James Gunn's doing a pretty good thing with Superman. He's going back to its comic book roots.
I
So
love Superman,
yeah,
especially the series uh, Superman and Lois.
that was a good one. That was a good one. The newest one, what was that? That was yeah, Superman and Lois. Because there was one in the past. It was called Lois and Clark, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was with Dean Kane or something like that. Yeah, but the Superman and Lois was really good. I actually
I like the
liked
whole
that one.
family idea.
Yeah, the boys and all that, and all the supporting characters they brought in. Yeah, that was good. Okay, so we got politics out of the way. Now let's talk um, Pendragon. Okay, so who would like to recap what happened last week? If you want, there's a really good recap in our Discord.
That's right. I know the reason. We were attacked by a huge army, and then Robert sent us out to talk to a duke to try to get his assistance against said army. And we were able to keep ahead of most of them, except for one which we dispatched.
Yeah, and just a slight correction to the recap that's in the Discord. It was actually Aubrey who cut the saddle straps on the Saxon, not Gwyneth. But other than that, it's pretty extensive.
All right. All right, so I brought us. That's actually a big, good recap overview of what's going on. We didn't need to get into all the little details about, talking to a guard or going to a chapel, the Abbey of the Black Cross, or um, your journey through the woods, going up towards Silch- um, Silchester, um, trying to get the Duke there to lend his assistance, and the young Count, he offered his, or will, through you, his proxy, offer his fealty or vassalage to the Duke um, as payment for him coming and helping. Okay,
Is the Duke a bannerman of Robert, or does Robert have any bannermen?
well, you would be considered a bannerman of Robert. Um,
Well, we're not. Well, aren't bannermen are people who would raise a banner and gather their own troops for their lord. I think we're just
Yeah,
his
there will be vassals, and
personal knights.
most vassals have their own army.
yeah,
Speaking of which, our fathers, are they dead? Do they have an estate? what is up with them?
Do you have a copy of your background sheet? Let's see.
Yeah,
Aubrey.
like
Yeah, where's your background
on.
sheet? I don't see it under your folder, Aubrey.
I might not have put it in here. I think I texted it to you, but his Aubrey is his Aubrey. His father is Sir Brennan the Black, but we haven't really defined estates or anything yet.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up because that was something that I wanted to do during this upcoming winter phase. Wanted to actually go through and work on that. But on that sheet that should be in roll 20, because I remember providing each one of you with a copy of it. I thought I did. Wait, nope, that's an archer card. Yeah, I got Sanson's right here in front of me. When I look at his, it says his family is his mother and father. So that means they're both still alive.
Yeah, if you go into Aubrey, I don't think I got that, but if you go to Aubrey's bio and info tab, there's everything is there of because he has a father. When we rolled, he has a father, a mother, and 3 older sisters.
When you get time, can you put their current residence?
No, that's what we're going to work on during the next winter phase. We're all going to work on that.
So is the assumption that our fathers are vassals and that or have territory in estate and that they're at their estate?
Yes.
Essentially?
Yeah, that's the understanding.
So we're actually like mid-tier knight sect. Like we're not just like we're like fairly respectable.
Yeah, I mean you inherited your father's glory, and you don't have any bad reputation or anything like that. Yeah, your father
Bad
should
reputation
have
yet.
That's correct. Yeah.
Is Robert the leader of this whole area?
Yeah, Robert's the leader of Salisbury.
Why doesn't he have? Why aren't there any more armies except for? We don't even have an army at Salisbury.
Well, I don't think he's called his banners. It's just that it would be further away for. So like, yeah, does Robert have any people he could call in, or are we going to the Duke because we're going to the Duke because it's just closer, or is there no one else to call in?
Okay, so let me give a little history lesson so that you guys can get caught up and have a better understanding of what actually is going on. Salisbury is it's a fairly sizable geographical area, right? It has a number of different what would you say, lords throughout the area. If I was to draw a line around Salisbury, here we go. You know, this red line here is the border of Salisbury. There you go. With Sarum being the capital in the middle there. If you put a handful of knights out there managing his land, and a handful of nights in Sarum, he had a grand total of maybe 30 nights under his leadership. Then about 2 years ago, or maybe it was a year ago or 2 years ago, something like this, the his mother, before he was knighted, his mother, Countess Ellen, agreed to send her knights / his knights to war with King Nantiliad, and they went and fought a massive battle, which Robert and his army took about 30 knights, almost his entire collection of knights, which is not a huge amount, but he took a lot of knights with him and their squires, and he returned with 3 or 4 knights. They were wiped out.
Okay, armies just don't consist of knights. Where's the men at arms? Where's the...
Oh yeah, you got, like, in Duplain, there's 10 men at arms. And no knight.
That's a small army. Holy crap.
Yeah. Salisbury, I think, has 30 men at arms. Or 30 men like that. But those men had all gone to battle with Robert. So he didn't return with an army. He returned with stragglers. So his entire fief, if you wish, is really, it's in the rebuilding stage. He's basically trying to reestablish and rebuild in the aftermath of this war. And he's only had a year or so. And in that time, he's knighted, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of about 10 knights have been knighted. So he really, in his fief, he's got a few landed knights, mostly your parents, and he's got a lot of other brand new knights, and but there's not many. He's struggling when it comes to, if you want to call it an army. He doesn't have really an army.
How's he going to hold Salisbury without vassals or armies? We're going to be able to...
That's the problem. That's the issue, right? How is he? Well, he knows that he's in a bad way. And King Cerdic coming from Wessex knows that he's in a bad way and is taking advantage of this opportunity to take Sarum. And he came to Duplain because that's like the first place on his rampage, and found that Robert was there. And so once he found Robert was there, he decided, I'm just going to go ahead and make my claim that you're going to do all this for me, right? He said, you're gonna become my vassal. You're gonna pay me yearly and all this stuff. He basically made a whole bunch of demands of Robert, and Robert can't deny him this. All he can do is hope that you can get to an ally of his, which is King or Duke Ulf, the Duke of Silchester, right? If you can get to him, which on this map, it's actually on this map. It's right here. Yeah, there you go. The Duke personalities. Hold on.
Robert's going to have to start recruiting soldiers. So we're going to have to help him with that. We're going to have to start recruiting from the villages and everything. Or we're not going to hold Salisbury. Not against the army.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't just wave your hand and have an army just magically appear. You can't just. Now you can hire mercenaries and things like that from other provinces, people that, and that's expensive, and he doesn't really have that kind of money. It's right. It's a lot of things. It's a balancing act.
But also, you can't just convert automatically peasants into soldiers because you have to pay for all their equipment and stuff, and like they don't have any weapons or armor or shields, so he would have to foot the bill for that.
Well,
Right.
we should have a lot of arms and shields and stuff like that with no army. That got wasted. There should be a lot.
Yeah, the Saxons collected all that. Yeah, I took all that stuff off those dead bodies.
And so I know it's because we want, like, for narratively, it's so that they're out of the way for the story. But if Robert is so in need of knights, why have our fathers, who are by all accounts pretty accomplished knights, why haven't they made an appearance yet? Have they been ordered to stay in their lands, basically?
We don't need more knights, we need more soldiers.
Because they're old and
soldiers
about.
are the best knights are the best soldiers, rather.
Your fathers are old and on the deathbed, almost ready to pass. You know, they're ancient. They're not. They passed their prime. They're not in fighting shape. They might claim they are. They might get up and put their armor on, but nobody wants them standing by their side. It's harsh.
Well, none of Robert's vassals have any armies either. Is that true?
Oh no, they have small amounts, right? Small numbers of men.
Oh, that's
Very small numbers.
for a big area like this.
That's not a big area.
Salisbury is pretty big.
Not really.
And especially, and it may be a big area, but like nobody lives outside of the towns, basically. So
that's what I'm saying. It's
It's
geographically, yes, it's a large area of land, but most of it is farm. Yeah. So you're not like you said, to the towns, and yeah.
So did we manage to escape the Saxons last time, or did we just manage to get ahead of them?
You have not
when
escaped.
last we left?
You have not escaped.
You got one more trek to go.
Yeah. This is the Thorngate 100, and if you look off to the right, you got your characters. You have to get past that final line, which we ended right before you made your next rolls to make it past. I'm going to drop 2, 3. I'm going to drop 3 knights off of this. Yeah, I didn't. Okay. All right, so there are 7 knights in pursuit of you guys, and the other ones had chased off Sir Pharamond into the woods. He got lost. He got separated from you guys through the brambles and the bushes. And yeah, so it's a simple chase. All we need to do is make it a couple more steps, and then we will be into a clearing, hopefully, where you can just finish your ride to Silchester. Now, before we do that, I should probably get the adventure ready. Oh my goodness. There we go.
So is the Duke a vassal of Robert?
No. If it was anywhere, it would be the other way around.
We're writing to offer Robert's vassalage to the Duke.
Yeah, a count is below a duke. A duke is almost a king.
Yeah,
It's only one step lower than a king.
Famously, the brothers of kings are often dukes.
Exactly. But in this time, there are so many kings and there are so many dukes. It's hard, it's hard to keep track. King's Gambit. There we are.
Duke comes from the Latin dux, D-U-X. That it was a military title that was basically meant supreme commander in an area.
Sounds
Fun
right.
fact.
Sounds exactly
Count was
right.
originally Comes.
Okay. Wheeling about and all that. Combat might go for 10 rounds. Okay, you guys already did that. If you Okay.
Guess we got to
Okay.
roll for our last leg.
Okay. So, yeah, I just had to get caught up with the story. All right, we're in the place where you guys can make a pursuit roll or chase roll, and in this case, it's a d20, and you're trying to go up against the speed of your horse, which is 20. So, there it is. So everybody needs to make a roll and try to get a 20 or less. And if you get a 20, you get a critical. And if you get you can't get a fumble. Not with not even if you roll a 1. Okay, so you guys all successfully advance one line. Now, the 7 knights that I'm rolling for, pull up the advanced roller. Might be easier. 7 d20s. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so they all succeed except for one. He crit. So,
I don't know.
so he catches up with you guys. Okay, so okay, so before we enter, okay, this is something that I should have done last time and I overlooked it. But because there is only one of them, what you can do is wheel about, strike it if you want. Basically, while he's riding up to kind of like grab you or strike at you or something like that, all of you can strike at him before the combat starts. It's basically to kind of like slow him down or knock him back. So everyone has the opportunity. You don't have to if you don't want to, and I really don't understand why you not. But all you have to do is make a weapon roll against his weapon roll. And let me find my mercenary knight.
Do we get a disadvantage if we use not a non-spear?
No. Why would you? Oh, because of the shield?
Yeah, and also because he has a longer weapon, right? Or does he have a sword or a spear?
Yeah, in this case, it's just sword versus whatever weapon you want to use. If you use a spear, he'll use a spear. But anyway, you should have lances anyway. Every one of you should have a lance.
But my sword is better.
Be a charge or?
Well, don't forget you're rolling against your horsemanship or your sword, whichever is higher.
Whichever is higher, whichever is lower.
Whichever is lower. Thank you. You're right.
Oh, in which case you would be going for 14, which is a swordsmanship, but that still succeeds.
I thought I pulled this out specifically so I wouldn't have to go searching for it.
You're making me look bad.
It's okay. Last combat, it was a lot of whiffing. So
that's true.
Well, see, it's because I'm in the middle, so I'm like turning around. You guys are beside him.
yeah, you distracted him, and then we hit him with our swords. He was like, "Is that a dog riding a horse?"
Oh no, that's mean.
Sorry, I was just clearing my throat.
Okay, bear with me. I am trying to locate his card.
Uh-oh. We lost his card.
I got it. Okay. Took me a moment, but I got there. All right, and now he's going to roll against each of you, but because he's having to do this against 3 of you, he gets a -10. Okay. And I guess he's got an arming sword as well, and he's got a horsemanship of the same. Okay. So -10. I know what my target number is. It's not good. We'll go with Gwyneth first. I failed. You failed. Okay, we're good. We'll go against Aubrey. I failed. You succeeded. So you get to use your damage if you want to damage this gentleman. If they win, you can roll damage against your pursuer. Okay. Well, he's got more than that in armor. And his knockdown is higher than that. Okay. And then Sanson hits. And let's see if I can do a... Oh! I succeed, but you succeeded with a higher roll than me. So you can roll damage. Oh, gosh.
Now that's a damage roll.
Okay. Do you have 5d6? Are you a big boy?
Yeah, I got 5 discs.
Wow. You are remarkable.
I picture Sanson as a young Brian Blessed.
That's why they call me the Fierce.
Well, either way, you did 18. He had, and you, oh, he did succeed. Okay. He just didn't succeed very well. So he does get to use his shield. Hold on now. Hold on. The shields give a -2 on the horseback with when not charging, right? So
That is correct.
I still would have succeeded. Actually, I would have crit.
They still give you a penalty if you're charging, but only if you have a certain shield. Like certain shields apply.
Okay. Stop talking rules. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, no more rules discussions. All right, so 18. He okay, he takes a couple of points of damage. So the 2 players that succeeded, if you want, you can break free and leave Gwyneth behind.
Is that not over his knockdown?
I didn't understand that question.
Is that over his knockdown, Ellie?
That is a good question. Thank you for asking. It is. So he has to make a dex roll. He's good. He does not get knocked off his horse.
But to answer your question, no, Sir Aubrey will not leave Gwyneth behind. Sanson, maybe.
They don't call me the Fierce for now.
Okay. In that case, because in this one little intro of the fight, as they're chasing along behind you and trying to swipe at you, and you're swiping back at them, if you win, you can progress even further down the chain. If you fail, obviously something different happens. But fumble. If you fail, you stay where you're at, and but the rest of you can stay and fight with Gwyneth. Now, in this case, it's the standard horse-mounted combat. He does not. Oh, he does. He has a lance. So he's going to try to charge one of you. I'll just go ahead and say he's going to try to charge Sanson because you're the one that caused him some injury. Now the rest of you can charge him, or you can fight with your sword if you want. But if you charge, you get to use your charge skill, also limited by your horsemanship. But you get to use your horse's damage, and you don't get a penalty for your shield. Okay, I don't know what that is. Bless you, whoever.
I'm so sorry. I thought I was muted.
It's all good. So, you guys can pick and choose who wants to nominate first. There's not really such a thing as initiative. If you want, there is technically to see who strikes first in a fight. And it's usually just based on your dexterity.
And remember to, you can always invoke your hate Saxons, guys. It's a free bonus in these sort of scenarios.
It's not a free bonus because if you've already invoked a passion for the day, you were done.
You can't. Oh, so you can only. Is that for all passions? You can't invoke any other passions, or just that specific
Nope,
passion?
you only get one passion a day.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not one
But
of each.
Aubrey will, after hitting, after hitting ineffectively at the Saxon, he will reel around and charge him with his lance as he goes for Sanson, and he succeeds with a 12.
Oh, okay. There you go. You want to just go ahead and jump into it. Okay, I'm totally okay with that.
I'm sorry. Weren't you saying it was our turn to go?
It is not your turn to go. It is your turn to state what you're doing.
Oh, okay. And then we resolve it all at once?
Correct. Everybody has to state what they're doing because let's say, I know this is not really what's going to happen, but let's just say Gwyneth decides not to attack, or he fails his horsemanship and is unable to attack, then he wouldn't get as many minuses on his roll.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry then, but yeah, he will.
Well, you have to make a if you're going to attack, you have to make a horsemanship roll, but don't make any rolls until everyone's stated what they're going to do.
Okay, I'm gonna charge on the lance.
Okay, you're going to charge. You're going to charge. What about Gwyneth? What are you going to do?
I'm gonna hit him. I'm embarrassed from a minute ago. I have to hit him. Everyone else did.
Are you charging him with your lance?
Oh, charge, yes.
Okay, so everybody's charging. So now everybody can make a horsemanship roll. He does not have to make it because he has a war horse. And you're right. Now would be a good time to invoke any passions if you wanted. Okay, so again, Sanson is struggling with his horse. He's got this horse that just doesn't want to fight. He said, nope, I'm not a war horse. Okay, so now I'll get an additional -5 because of fighting two opponents. Who wants to go first? So Aubrey, you want to go first? You can strike first if you want.
All right. And I don't suppose I can use the original charge roll.
No. Yeah, I'm kind of like that. If you if you drop
Critical.
even when I play live at the table, if your dice falls on,
it's fair. I was just being cheeky.
Oh, I know, but I'm just telling you, this is anecdotal. If your die falls off the table, you don't get to count it.
Yeah, that's also my policy too.
All right, so you got a critical. That's a pretty good roll. He's going to try to get his roll to match yours. He doesn't. He succeeds, but it doesn't matter. You crit him. Okay, so go ahead and give me some critical damage.
So it looks here like his critical damage is 46 and his character damage is 46. Does that mean he rolls them together?
It does, but you get to use your horse's damage if it's larger. Which I think it's 5.
I think its damage is just 2d6 because it's a light horse.
Okay. So, yeah, use the larger of the two. So, yeah, roll 8 dice then.
$20 damage.
Okay. All right. The reason why, just FYI, criticals are always 4 dice, no matter what. Okay, so you did 20. Okay, that's more than his knockdown, but he succeeded, so he gets his shield up there. So he takes a number of damage. And 20. Is that double his knockdown? It is not. He gets to make a dex roll.
Curse all those ones.
He succeeds. He rolls a 3. He stays mounted. All right, Gwyneth, let's see what you can do.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. A 3. Success.
That's not bad. I rolled a 2 with success.
And I got higher than him.
You got higher than me. So you can do damage, just regular damage.
Okay.
Either your
This
horse or your personal, whichever is higher.
Horse or personal.
But if a horse is 2 dice, it's not even worth looking at.
Yeah. So, boop, 15.
Oh, that's good. He parries that, but it is higher than his knockdown. But he's not
He does
knocked.
what now?
He parries it with his shield and his armor, but it is higher than its knockdown. But he rolls a 2, and so he is not knocked out of the saddle. But he charges over because his statement of intent was to attack Sanson, not you two. So because he's right up on you, you still get to roll your weapon skill, but you get a -5. All right, Sanson, go ahead and roll. I am looking to see what I need. Okay. It's still going to be -10, though. Just so you know, I need to roll a 5. I failed. Okay, so the pass has failed for him. You guys did a little bit of damage to him, but he's feeling froggy. Get like a GM hidden roll. Here we are. There. Oh yeah, he's feeling a little brave, or valorous. So he's going to continue the fight. So you see him, as you guys pass each other, he turns or wheels his horse around, and he's going to charge again. But now he sees that his best bet to slaying one of you would be to strike someone who's already wounded. It's not very chivalrous, but that's okay. He's going after Gwyneth.
Oh, yeah, I thought that meant me.
So, if you guys want to turn around and rein your horse in so that you can fight without a minus, go ahead and give me a horsemanship roll.
Mine. Don't feel it. Alright.
All right.
I could charge on there.
Yeah. Okay, everybody is in control. So I assume everybody's charging him. But he's actually going after Gwyneth. You guys get to strike first.
Since Aubrey got a crit, he gets a check mark, right?
He can if he doesn't already have one.
Oh,
I already had a tick in charge, but thank you.
me too. Darn. Okay.
But good call. Okay, so let's do one attack at a time.
Sanson with a 6.
Sanson with a 6. So, because I have to roll my die against you. So, we're looking at a -10. Soph? Wait. Oh, my thing just jumped for some reason. I don't know why it's jumping. Oh, somebody's getting ready to type. That's why.
I'd hit my mute key.
I also have a success, but you beat me, so you get to do damage to me. Sanson, so that's going to be what, 5d6? Because you're a big boy. Okay. Um.
And roll dexterity check.
That's a new screen. Okay, and yeah, I gotta make Dex, but it's not his. Not double. Yep. Okay, just double checking. Oh, he falls off his horse. He is dismounted.
Take that, sucker, attacking my buddy.
You
That's
know,
right.
if we grabbed his horse, we could just leave him here.
And well, there's still some nice pursuing, even though this is only the second round.
So Aubrey, you hit, right? So you gotta do your thing.
Well, it hasn't hit yet. He just succeeded with his horsemanship. So you all succeeded with horsemanship. So either Gwyneth or Aubrey, since Aubrey's going to go ahead and roll his charge, he gets a 6. I get an additional -5 for being on the ground. He fails. He gets no shield. So do your damage, and we'll only apply it to his armor.
Roll high. That's
Oh,
not
come
high.
on.
His armor absorbs that,
3 ones.
and that doesn't, do anything to him. Yeah. Okay. He's taking 10 damage. Hang on. Okay. Yeah. All right, Gwyneth.
Come on, Gwyneth. Come on, Gwyneth.
Yeah.
That would be a success.
Yes, it will.
Pretty easy to beat one, but a success nonetheless.
Go ahead and roll some damage.
Awesome. Take 12.
Might knock him down.
It does not, but it does. Okay. All right. So now my decision is: am I gonna? This is a new round, by the way. He is going to, on his turn, he's going to strike Gwyneth. But he is -10 for the numbers, minus 5 for the longer reach weapon. So he's -15. And -5 additional for being higher than him. So he's at -20. He failed. But Gwyneth, you have to roll against it. You don't. Never mind. No. It's not a, that's right. It's not me go, you go. It's we go. I keep forgetting that. Okay, so that didn't even count. Okay, so on his turn, this is a new round. On his turn, he has decided that he is going to only mount his horse. You can attack him. He will still try to defend himself.
Okay, Samson is going to try to charge.
Yep.
I
Okay.
roll my horse.
You got to make a horsemanship roll if you're going to try any kind of combat maneuver.
I
Great.
am going to ride away
My horse says,
like we were doing.
You haven't broke free of him.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I'm not going to charge a man who's getting on his horse.
Aubrey?
He is going to charge him.
All right, make a horsemanship. Oh, you just did. Okay. Yeah, you're good. Boop. So Aubrey's the only one that successfully got his horse under control. So you can go ahead and make your attack on him. I'm still going to give him the -20 because he's mounting your longer weapon than him. But it doesn't matter. You missed. Because with a -20, there's no way I can succeed.
Isn't he only a -15 because I'm not fighting him?
He's actually only minus. You're right. He's not minus for any numbers. He's -5 for the length of the weapon, -5 for the height. So he'd be -10. So there is a chance if I roll a 5 or less. All right. So I crit. No, I don't. I'm fighting with a sword, and with a shield, I'm additional -2 when trying to fight from horseback. So no damage. All right. Nothing happens that round. Moving into the 4th round, he is back on his horse. You can see that he bows to Sanson and Gwyneth for holding back, even though Sanson didn't do it on purpose. But he still bows to you on his horseback, and he declares he's going to charge Aubrey. So he's charging off to Aubrey. What are you two guys going to do?
I try to get this horse to do his thing.
Okay, go ahead. Wait, Gwyneth, what are you doing? The same?
Now I'm going to charge him.
Right, and I assume Aubrey's doing the same.
Oh, the horse is not obeying.
They're not obeying you.
Frickin' horse? I should kill the horse.
I fumbled.
Yeah, it's only a pass or fail, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
But you do get to check horsemanship for fumbling, don't you?
No, it's only a pass or fail. Not an actual fumble. It's not a fumble that has consequences. Let's say it that way.
Okay.
Aubrey, it's up to you.
He will charge him.
The last Saxon I fought let me get back up without hitting me. I cannot be less honorable than a Saxon.
So, Aubrey, did you make your roll? You did. Okay. So.
Oh, I was waiting to, I made my horsemanship roll, but I was waiting for your prompting to make the charge roll.
Yeah. That's right. So, go ahead and make it. I get no minuses. You get no minuses.
But he fails.
I need a 15. This is a first in a lifetime. And I fail. Okay. You guys did a pass on the charge where your lances just bounce off each other's shields. You know, just like a tilting. Okay. So round 5. We're back to it. He's going to charge Aubrey. He seems like this is his only chance, maybe. If you're making a horsemanship roll, I assume it's because you're going to be engaging in fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, has both Sanson and Gwyneth fled?
Okay.
No. They're struggling with their horses.
Good enough.
Sanson got his horse under control.
I did not.
Okay. So, yeah. Sanson and Aubrey, you both can make attacks on him.
After you, Sanson.
Okay. I have a -5. I failed. You success. Okay, roll damage. He does not get to use his shield. Oh, this is going to be bad. Nah, it's not too bad. He takes 11. His armor, as you know, absorbs most of that. It's not enough. This guy's a pretty big dude. He's not a giant, but he is pretty big, and he doesn't get knocked off his horse. All right, Aubrey. He'll fight back against you with a -5. Okay. I successfully crit. Okay. Give me just a second. I'm going to check something. Okay. Yep. Just take a breather just a second. Okay. Um, okay. Yep. Here we go. I think this is it. Okay. It's telling me to go to another place. Okay, which is fine. Yep, there we go. Okay, that is exactly what I wanted to know. Yeah, so I got a critical, but you did get a success, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
you do get to use your shield.
So with the shield, the total armor that we have is 11, right?
No. Shield had 6 alone. I think your armor is 11 plus 6 for the shield.
Can either of you guys confirm that?
Looking
Um,
for the helm. 6 for the shield. Albrecht is 6.
It's 10,
Oh, the Hopper
10
does
with
it.
6 for shield, so yeah, you have 16 armor.
Okay.
Eka 10 is 2.
Because I have 17, because my fur.
Gotcha. Do we get to stack the Akaton on top of that?
Oh yeah. No, that's why it's 10.
Yeah, that was counting the Akaton. You've got 6 from your hauberk, 2 from the Akaton, 2 from your helmet, and 6 from your shield.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yep, that sounds exactly correct. Okay, he's striking with the lance, and he crits.
And he got a crit.
Yeah. So he's only rolling 10d6.
A mere 10d6.
Yep. 35.
Yeah, so his current HP is 24, so minus, oh, wait.
No. You subtract your armor. Subtract 16, right? Or
Yeah, so it's only 19 damage, or 18 damage. 34 minus, 18.
Yeah.
okay, I did 35.
18.
So 19. So it sounds like he got you somewhere important.
Yeah.
And that is past his knockdown, but
Well, no. Is it double your knockdown?
19?
No, 35.
Oh, yes.
35.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But
So you don't have to make it. You don't have to make a dex roll. So you take a d6 additional damage, but I know your armor is more than 6, so I'm not going to bother rolling. So you get knocked off your horse. You just took a major wound. I'm sure that's over your major wound value, the 19 or whatever it was. So that means you are unconscious and debilitated. So that means
I'll put that down as speared inside.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Through your what do they call these things? Your lateral.
Albert.
Your laterals. Or your
Oh
obliques.
Man.
Through your oblique.
Who's that coming into the club through the? Oh, it's Aubrey. Aubrey, welcome to the debilitated club.
Are you still debilitated?
No. But if I take literally any hit, I will be.
Okay, so Aubrey is out. There we go. And Sanson, you've already made your attack roll. And we can go into
I'm going to stay with him. I'm not going to move away.
We can go into another round. We're going into round 6.
Derek, I'm going to stay next to him. I'm not going to move away from him.
Well, first of all, you have to, because when you charge your opponent, you don't just stop on a dime. So your horse has to move at least half of its movement past the target. But then you can always just come back and bring your horse back to Sir Aubrey and just stand over him if you want to let Gwyneth and this knight fight one-on-one.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to fight him.
Is that what you want to do, Sanson? Is it you want to let Gwyneth fight one-on-one?
No, I'm going to
I think
go.
unless he's attacking Aubrey's body.
I'm not going to charge him, but I'm going to move up to him this way.
Wait. I think you might misunderstand what's happening. These two, Aubrey and you guys, the ones that attacked, charged him. He charged you. You guys struck each other, and both him and you flew past each other, right?
Yeah, no, I'm saying is this round I'm just gonna move up to him and attack.
When you say him, who are you talking about? I'm going to move up to him. Who's him?
The enemy.
Okay, so you're not going to charge him?
No, I'm just gonna move up to him.
Well, he's not going to let you. I mean, you can't just move up to him
I'm on horseback. Why can't I move up?
because that's called a charge. He's galloping at you. Are you just going to stand there and receive this, or are you going to? If you're moving and attacking, that's called a charge.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for him. You know, like
Okay, well, he's not going to go anywhere near you. He's going to go over by Gwyneth.
Why are you moving Gwen?
Because he's attacking Gwyneth. He's not attacking you.
Yeah, well, I was right next to Gwen.
Well, you can be next to Gwyneth and still not be within range of his attack.
He's only got one spear tip.
Yeah, are you going to attack him? Is that the plan? If the plan is to attack him, you have to move. And if you move and attack, it's just called a charge. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Aubrey's laying on the ground unconscious.
I roll my horse.
And right, now that's another thing. To get your horse to do exactly what you want it to do, you have to make a horsemanship roll, which you did,
Yeah.
so you're good.
Yeah.
All right, Gwyneth, you need to make a horsemanship roll.
Oh,
Okay.
well, how badly did I need to make that roll?
Well,
'Cause
you're
I
not.
didn't.
Yeah, it just means that you're
Yeah, I'm not
you're going to
charging.
wind up not being in the fight, is what it is. The oh, okay. Since Aubrey's down, it's irrelevant right now. But going forward, I'm going to let you guys in on something. Only two of you should be allowed to attack him from horseback. And I was allowing, actually, I think early on I was allowing 4 of you to attack. But now, just FYI, going forward, just like the rules say, it's only 2 because of the way the horse takes up so much space. But either way, Sanson and this knight, you're facing off against each other. You can go ahead and make your attack roll against him. It's a charge. Okay. All right. Now, he wasn't attacking you, but he does make a roll against you at minus a lot. Wait, minus 5? Yep, minus 5. So he still succeeded. So you get, did you fail? You failed. So you don't
Yes,
get to
I
use,
failed.
not you.
Oh.
He has to fight back against Sanson. So whenever one person makes a roll, the other person also has to make a roll. A fight is not, I swing my sword once, you swing your sword once, and that's the fight. That's not what a die roll represents. It represents a lot of action, a lot of swinging, a lot of activity going on during that time. And so he succeeded in rebuffing or damaging. What is this? 5 dice. Now, okay. He does 25. You get to use your armor, but not your shield because of the failure. So you're taking 10 off of that. And I do believe that might be higher than your major wound. Right? 15.
16.
You have a 16 major wound? Oh, you're good then. Okay. But it is higher than your knockdown, so you have to make a dex roll. Oh, you're good. So you don't get knocked off your horse. But he continues past Sanson. He is charging you. Because you're not in control of your horse, you get a -5. But you get to fight. If he didn't come after you, you wouldn't have got a chance to fight. So you can go ahead and make your roll first with a -5. I'm going to make my roll with a -5.
Still a charge, or would it be a sword?
I think it would just be a sword.
Okay. With a -5. Oh. Yeah, I failed.
Okay.
I almost fumbled.
He's also -5. And he fails as well. Okay. So because of the rapid fire of, flying past each other, okay, I'm at 13 damage. Okay, he's still good.
Hey, we're in trouble, guys.
You mean Sir Robert's in trouble?
We're on.
Okay, going into the 7th round, he declares he's going to charge one of you two. I'm going to roll because he doesn't know. There you go. He's going to charge Sanson. Gwyneth.
Well, I'm going to charge him.
Okay, give me horsemanship.
I failed.
Okay. So you guys are struggling with your horse as he charges in. You guys can both attack him with swords or whatever. You're not charging him. So you get a -2 for having your shield. And -5 for being a shorter weapon. So it's -7.
What if I use a spear?
Okay, yep. You can use a spear. It's just not a charge.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a shorter weapon.
It wouldn't be an extra. It would only be -2.
I already rolled the sword, so I failed.
Okay, so let me roll my attack on Gwyneth. I am -5 for fighting 2 people. That's a success.
I got a success.
I'm just doing Gwyneth first. So you take 19. You don't get to use no shield.
Right. So it'll be 8 that goes through.
Okay.
I will add a wound. 19 does beat my knockdown, but it's not double. So I make a dex roll. And I pass.
Okay,
However,
is that higher than your major wound?
19 or
No.
the 9?
No, just what went
Or
through.
the 8, I mean.
Yeah.
No. No, I have a major wound of 18.
What?
My major wound is 18.
What's your constitution?
18.
Okay. It's like, damn. All right. So he didn't just instantly knock you out, but how many hit points you got left?
3.
So you are unconscious.
Yeah, because unconscious is 7. And I am debilitated again.
No, it wasn't over your major wound.
Okay.
I don't think just falling unconscious causes debilitation.
I thought less than a certain amount of health was debilitation.
No, you have to get over half to remove it.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. But,
It's all up to me then.
it is all up to you. It is all up to you. And now he says, mano a mano.
I got a success with my spear.
On your horsemanship?
No, with a spear.
Oh, wait. That's right. We're still fighting. That's right. Sorry. Let's see what he gets. He gets a -5 for attacking 2 of you. And I crit. So that's only 10 dice.
Only? I think the whole party.
Yeah, TPK. No, you're not killed. It's better for them to take you prisoner. Okay, so 39.
Well, you know what that means.
Yeah, you had a success, so you get to use your shield.
It's still unconscious.
You're less than what, 7 or whatever your unconscious number is.
Well, 16 minus how much? 30.
39, so it's
39 is,
18, I think.
yeah, I'm at -8.
You're at minus. You're in the negatives.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I got 10 hit points.
Yeah. Okay. So let me. Okay. So everybody fades to black. Right? Everybody is unconscious. Let me tell you what happens when you wake up. If you wake up. Okay, hold on.
Like Robert's in trouble.
Robert's in trouble. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm in the wrong book. No wonder. I was like, why can't I find it?
I think this guy got 2 crits.
I know. It's almost like the game master was cheating.
Yeah, stop cheating, game man.
All right, here we go. Okay, so everyone is at 1 hit point if you're not already above 1 hit point. So Sanson, you're at 1 hit point, and Gwyneth, your wound is where? Yeah, and yeah. Okay, Gwyneth, your wound is removed basically, and you receive your healing rate in wounds back.
I've
Bless you.
actually got 2 wounds.
Oh, okay. Then I'll roll for the second one. The first one, you get your healing rate back.
Okay. Well, it only had 3 damage on it. My healing rate's 4, so I only heal for 3.
Okay, and the second one is healed, but no hit points back.
Okay.
And Sir Aubrey, you only have 1 wound. Is that right? I think that's right.
Yep.
And you get healed, but no hit points back. I know, right? It sucks. But when you guys wake up, because you do, believe it or not, you wake up and you see stars above you. You are wrapped in blankets. You have all of your gear appears to be with you. What you had on you. But you're in the middle of the woods staring up at the stars. It is now daylight. So you guys have been asleep for a long while. Because, what would you call it? Morning is when this happened. So now it's night.
Aubrey will stand up and draw his sword if it's there and look around.
Yeah, your sword's there. Yeah, okay, when you look around and you see that there is a fire. Somebody has built a fire. It's burning. Also, it seems like the woods that you're in, it sounds like any other woods you've ever been in, It just seems very not mystical, but like woodsy. I don't know how to pronounce, say it, but basically you just hear the sounds of, nature. And someone steps out from the darkness. You see a cloaked woman carrying firewood, or I should say, tree branches and deadfall and stuff like that for the fire. She steps out, and you're standing there with your sword out, and she kind of gasps.
Who are
He
you?
lowers his sword and
So I see that you're awake, and it's a woman's voice.
Who are you?
what happened to the Saxons, my lady? He sort of says, and ironically, as she's a forest hag.
You're gonna call her a hag to her face? Dang. That's rough.
He called her my lady.
All right. So she says, the Saxons? I didn't see any Saxons.
That's weird.
They just left us.
I saw 3 men that needed help. And I pulled you over here off the path and started a fire and did what I could to bind your wounds. Some of those wounds need to get looked at by maybe a chirurgeon or a professional.
Well, we thank you, Molly.
You're very welcome. All right, she pulls her hood back off of her cloak, just so you can kind of see her face. But she looks like she's obviously in her late 20s, body her body is like she's in her late 20s, but her face looks like she's about 16 years old. So it's hard to tell. She's indeterminate age.
Who are you, Marley?
Oh, they just call me Green. The color.
Have you seen our horses, Lady Green?
Your horses are not too far from here. They didn't wander off very far. They kind of clumped together, and she points in a direction into the darkness. They're over there somewhere, I think. They're not. They didn't run very far. I didn't witness it, but I saw. That you needed help, so I pulled you to the side, off the road. A number of knights came running up here and searched the area, but I made sure that they didn't see you.
Aubrey narrows his eyes and looks at Green and says, and you moved all of us by yourself in our armor?
It was tough, but I apologize. I did have to drag you off the path. I didn't want them to find you. There's something. You guys have I just have a good feeling about you guys. And then she says, "Are you guys thirsty?"
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you relatively you are, but you would have some kind of water skin or canteen of some kind on your horse somewhere, or you can accept water from her ewer, or she has like a ewer that she can pour into some bowls. And so she does. You can see it looks clear. It looks like water. Smells like water.
We accept your hospitality.
You are very welcome.
We have a mission to. Oh, sorry. Go.
You can go.
A mission.
Aubrey will say, we have a mission to perform, and of utmost importance. I recommend you come along with us. It's not safe here.
I think it's safer her here than with us, looking at how things turned out.
Yes, I believe.
A young woman alone in a forest with Saxons roving about? I think not.
By the way, Thea, I think she could take care of herself.
Okay, so she offers you all water, and she looks at you, Aubrey, and says, "You care about me?"
You saved our lives. We owe it to you to try to do the same.
And then her tone changes, and you almost see a glow coming from around her body. Almost. Not really. It just appears this way. And she says, "Yes, you do owe me.
Well,
Now I will require a boon of each of you. And I will tell you when, on your honor, at an unspecified time of my choosing." And then she just turns around and walks into the woods.
that's actually what I was about to say. Is it would be remiss if we didn't repay you. By my honor, I'll swear one service to you in the future.
Aubrey is
that
pretty
seems
stunned,
fair.
but he holds up his crucifix, his wooden crucifix,
Exactly.
and will recite a prayer.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Aubrey.
You guys can make, if you wish, you can make a roll. This roll might be folklore.
Aubrey, did you just swear our lives to a druid or some kind of fairy?
It's a folklore roll.
Aubrey, what have you done?
He says, I make no deals with devils.
You guys don't have any idea what just happened.
I think he did.
No, you all got failures.
Well, no, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what happened, but that's what I think happened.
Right.
And so I'm glad that Aubrey said it first.
Okay, so you guys are sitting there or standing there with all of your gear, your shield, your weapons, your armor,
We have to finish our mission.
but just not your horses. And she did point off in a direction in the woods where they might or might not be.
Come, men. I'm going to head toward where she pointed.
Okay, make a hunting roll. Because of the point, I'm going to give you a +5.
Critical.
Okay. Well, without the +5, we would have got a critical, but that's okay. Yeah, so Aubrey's like, well, you're going in the opposite direction there. She didn't point that way. She pointed over this way. And then you go over there, and your horses are just chowing down on some grass, just chilling. They're not tied to a tree or anything.
We must make haste.
Okay, I'm going to try my best to get mount the horse since I'm very injured.
Yeah, okay. So those of you that are debilitated, there is a rule about activity while being debilitated. If you perform any kind of action, you will take 1 point of damage. It has to be, when I say action, I mean like a combat or riding fast or something like that. If you're just sitting on your horse riding casually, you're not going to suffer that. But if you like decide to go, like if you're being chased and you run off as fast as you can, you take damage like almost every hour, something like that. 1 point of damage.
Well, we're going to take it easy and we're just going to head to our...
Yeah, because a couple of you guys are wounded pretty bad. You're all wounded pretty bad. And and it's nighttime. You don't want to go running through the woods and having a branch hit you, knock you off your horse.
That actually is a big concern with the two of you being debilitated, and you both have 1 hit point, correct?
Oh, with the campfire, I'm going to make a torch.
No. Only Sanson, I think.
I'm going to make a torch.
Aubrey was knocked out too.
Yeah, but he has more than 1
that's
hit
because
point.
it's knocked down.
Oh, it was just
Yeah,
the
he has
knockdown.
5 hit
Okay.
points. Yeah.
From the campfire, wherever she made, I'm going to make a torch out of the stick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you definitely can. You could grab some of
Sanson,
those.
Would you draw the Saxons to us, you fool?
Not stop. We have to get to our destination. Robert would be in big heap of trouble.
well, I have a suggestion to that end. Being that it looks like a stiff breeze could knock you over right now, what if you removed or at least covered up your armor and rode maybe behind us? So if we do encounter trouble, you would appear to be maybe a sort of servant, and would not be the focus of any attacks.
Yeah, whatever.
Sanson would not. The Sanson I know would not disguise.
Yeah, that's
himself as
a
servant.
pretty big ask for Sanson.
Yeah. Now let's just go. Let's just take it easy.
Okay, and I mean the armor will still absorb hits, but I bet it doesn't feel good right now to wear it. Or maybe that's the only way you're sitting up straight.
We have to get to the Duke. That is our major concern and priority.
Yes, with a delay like this, if we weren't already too late, we for sure will be now. So we do need to hurry as we can.
It won't be too late. They will need to build siege weapons to take the keep.
And they don't need to build siege weapons if they sufficiently fortify their encampment.
They have to build siege weapons to get past the Palestine.
To get in the wall, yes. To seal us out, no.
We'll find out. We'll go by nightfall.
And if they,
the Duke could probably have us treated, and he could go without it.
If those Saxons dig in like the filthy ticks they are, then we may not be able to break through their lines easily to actually aid Robert.
You guys see a black screen, or do you see the map of England?
Map of England.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm saying we need to go still. We need to hurry because we're really pushing it now.
You're overthinking it. Let's just go.
Okay, so you guys are right about there. Okay, you see the pin. The pin. Okay, now just looking at this map, I'm going to give a little bit of a drawing. That's Salisbury County. And you guys are heading up here to Silchester, which has a area of about like that. So it's a much bigger area under its command or control, if you will. Yeah, so you guys can see a town off in the distance with the lights coming from the cottages. You see Lev Comagnus or Comagus. So you can head towards that town, the Lev Comagus. Yeah, you can head to that town if you want, or you can bypass it on your way to Silchester. As you can see, Silchester is still quite a ways away.
I think we should hit the town.
Yeah, we need to see some Abby get healed up.
Yeah, we need to get you properly bandaged, and if they haven't met with Saxon violence already, we should warn them that they are in the area.
We could ask them if they could send a messenger to Silchester.
We need to keep traveling. We can't afford to stop.
We have to stop. We're
Okay, it's okay. It says remind the players. Well, I'm going to remind you, even though there's no way you could possibly have already known this, but it says remind the players that relations between Salisbury and Lebcomagnus or Magus has. I'm sorry. Let me read this in English. Have that been strained at times in the past, and many on both sides harbor mistrust of the other.
Great. Okay, we're going to have to just keep on going to Silchester.
It just means that, if you go in, you don't have to say who you are, but because you're a knight, probably people are going to ask. And you don't know how late at night it is.
I still feel like we should give warning on our way through. We don't need to stop for long, but we should, maybe tell the guards at the gate or something.
Why?
Very well.
They're planning a siege, and they're not going to look humble.
We saw several peel off to settlements nearby. It's possible they could come here next. And even if relations are strained, a friendly act is never wasted.
Where did you see them going off toward Lamar? We didn't see anything. We were on contact.
That's
Let's
true.
Before we left,
overthink it. Let's not overthink it. Let's go to Silchester where we have to go.
we saw several groups of Saxons split off before we initially left for this errand.
Yeah, they were coming after us.
No,
Yeah, I think we
before
should
we
just,
left.
You're
yeah,
coming
we can
after
just stop by and
shenanigans that
say,
don't exist.
even if Saxons didn't break off, it would be a nice thing to just warn them. So we can just also ride up to the town, warn them, and say we have business with the Duke, and then ride off.
I just don't want to get involved with anyone until we reach so. They might.
Yeah, you would think that, but you would think that as a pagan, but it's his Christian duty to warn these people.
One must care for their neighbors.
Well, I will go ahead. You guys do what you want.
Throwing shade.
Okay, Aubrey will then have said that last bit out loud.
Oh no, all of this has been in character.
Oh yeah.
All right then.
Or at least for me.
Aubrey will spur his horse towards the gate.
Yeah.
And it is the road, and there's like a little stream or whatever, and so you pretty much need to use the bridge unless you want to, like, go cross country.
And I'm not saying we need to ask for an audience with the guy in charge and stop for a nice dinner. Just gotta tell someone posted up on watch, hey, coming from Sarum, I know we suck, on our way to Silchester, there's Saxons here. Watch out. And then we can go.
What if they
Yeah,
don't
that's the
believe
plan.
in Cloud Troll? No, we should just keep
Well,
on.
I mean, we're going to ride away after we tell them, so even if they try to do something, they have to catch us, and it's not like it's something they would chase us down for.
Well, I suppose we'll see.
Yeah, or hopefully it's not something they chase us down for.
Yeah, let me
Could
just
be
go
that
ahead
the
and pop
Saxons have
that up.
already invaded and are waiting.
Okay. All right, so you head up towards the town. There's a couple of guards standing there doing their guard duty. You know, they're just basically just watching you guys approach, trying to determine if you guys are hostile or if you guys are just traveling through or messengers or heralds or, they don't know. And so, but they're just standing there on guard.
Well, they could see me bent over on my horse. So.
Oh yeah. You all are kind of like in a bad way. So you guys,
I
right?
thought Sanson was carrying on, and only Gwyneth and Aubrey were going to the town.
We have to go along the road, so we have to.
Yeah, you got to go through the road. So, well, it's
Okay.
more conveniently to go to the road, and it's better just to kind of stay together as wounded as you guys all are. Okay, so you get to the town guards. Do you want to stop and say something to them, or just ride past? They don't stop you, and it does have a very small wall around the town. It's not. Your horse could probably jump it. It's probably 3 feet, maybe.
Aubrey will warn them that there's a Saxon war band in the area of a few hundred.
A Saxon warband? Where? Wait,
So
you said a few hundred? Do we need to sound the alarm?
they're surrounding Sarum. They appear to be laying siege. But we've seen raiding parties in the surrounding area.
We just wanted to warn you in case.
Okay.
You'll be ready.
Well, let me. I'm gonna need to wait right here. I'm gonna get. Lord Blaine.
We cannot wait. We have urgent business with the
I
Duke.
Okay. It will only be a minute. Wait here, and he runs off. And the other guard is like sitting there finishing off his bread. He's got some bread in his hand. He's kind of just chill, like he doesn't really care. He's like, he's on guard. This is duty. You guys aren't hostile. You know, there's no threat or anything.
Do we have any food on our horse?
Yeah, you probably have some, very little, like a little bit of a ration.
Okay, I tell you guys, we better eat because we got a long
I've-
ride. So tough.
I've got some hard cheese in my pocket from earlier.
So we're gonna eat.
You got some famunda. Okay, so,
We're
just
gonna eat
like
our-
maybe like 2 minutes later, this knight comes strolling up, and this is him right here. It is Sir Blaine, or so he has been called, and he walks up and he sees you and he says, "Oh, kind knights, I am Sir Blaine. I am the steward here. What business have you have, being that you're knights of Salisbury? You have intruded upon our vale."
Well, our Stockholm is under siege, so we have urgent business with the Duke to get his assistance.
You have business with Duke?
Yeah, it's so tough.
Duke
I
Ulfus?
bear the lance of Sir Robert, and he holds it up, and it's yellow. The shaft is painted yellow and blue, like
Okay.
his arms, and he will say, "I must bring a message from Lord Robert to the Duke immediately."
Okay.
On our way.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, it concerns Saxon presence in the area, and we thought it prudent to warn you as well on our way.
Well, I appreciate that. They said there was raiding parties in the woods. We'll definitely be on the lookout for that. But if you will, for me, I need you to make a. Never mind. No, you can. Who makes this roll? I'm going to let you guys roll it. One of you guys can decide amongst yourself, needs to make a trusting roll.
I'm a particularly trusting individual.
In this case, I'm welcome. You're welcome to express numbers.
I got a 13 under trust.
I have a 14.
Anybody else? Okay, make a trusting roll.
A success.
You seem like a trusting sort. This sounds important, and our Duke needs to hear about this. Let me gather a couple of knights, and I'll escort you there, because it doesn't look like you guys could. You might fall off your horses.
Yes, it took some doing to break the Saxon encirclement.
Yeah, the
Right,
Saxons
right.
are taking us down on the way.
Okay, so if you want, I can bring you some food and water while I gather a couple of knights to escort you to Silchester.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate your hospitality.
You're very welcome. And then he has a little conversation with one of his guards, and they run off. And then a few moments later, they come back with a basket, and inside the basket, it looks like there's like a bread stick, like a loaf, and then maybe a couple of pieces of like sausage links, and but nothing to drink really, just water from their canteens or the creek, and they give that to you. And then it takes about 10 minutes, and a couple of knights come strolling up. They look eager. They look like they're young. They're willing to do whatever needs to be done, kind of thing. And you hear Sir Blaine say, "Take these men to Duke Ulfus in Silchester. Be wary; they're injured, and don't press too hard. But you should get there by morning. There should be no problem. And anything happens to them, I blame you." And he points at his two knights.
Thank you, Sir Blaine.
You're very welcome. All right, so they jump onto their horses, which are war horses, and then you guys get on your chargers, your not chargers, I guess they are coursers, and you start heading off in the dark towards Silchester. Now, if you've made it this far, you get 20 glory. So everybody gets 20 glory. Now, just a note, I'm doing this a little bit differently than the game. There is a place on your character sheet that says session glory, and every session you would increase that, and that technically is yearly glory, because you don't actually get that glory until the winter phase. It's kind of like a bank that builds up and then it dumps on you during the winter phase, because your fame has to permeate through the land, and people have to start to get your, who you are and stuff like that. But I'm not doing it that way. You can just go straight to current glory. That session glory can always stay 0. I don't care. When you get glory, I want you to add it straight away. But I understand that it's supposed to be a dump at the end of the year, but I don't like that method. All right, just FYI. Okay, so you guys are all on your horses. You're going along with Sir Joe, believe it or not, and Sir Mac. Mac is it's not spelled like you might think, but these two knights are escorting you to Silchester. So you get to Silchester, believe it or not. It's an uneventful trip from Lev Comagus to Silchester. There's lots of little villages and farms and stuff like that you pass by. And then you get there a little bit before dawn. Okay, it's you can see that this, the on the horizon, the dawn, the light of the early morning is just kind of shining over the horizon. So it's starting, dew is starting to build up on the ground. It's a comfortable early morning. Who speaks for you? This is normally a duke. If you have a bunch of knights that travel to a location, you all don't everybody doesn't just start talking. It's usually one of you is the voice and the others are just, supporting.
Does anyone have orate higher than 5?
What skill would it be?
Skills that you might need would be courtesy and orate. Orate and courtesy. You're going to be making multiple rolls on courtesy and orate.
I have an orate of 9 and a courtesy of 12.
All right, that's better than operate.
Better than me. I got good courtesy, but my orate sucks.
It is also a new day, so passions are in effect. If you wanted to use a passion for either one of these. So who? So it's going to be Sanson. Is that what I'm hearing? Or is it going to be Gwyneth?
It'll be Gwyneth.
Okay.
Gwyneth, yeah. And you might want to do homage lord for this, but that's up to you.
Sanson's probably going to fall off his horse.
Thinking about it, but it only applies to one role type, so I'll do it when it seems narratively appropriate.
There you go. Just remember, just have it in the back of your mind that there's passions available.
Aubrey will hand Lord Robert's spear to Gwyneth.
Okay. You're brought into the main keep where you're asked, please wait. The Duke has to be awoken. So and the other 2 knights that came with you, they're like, hey, we're just in the background. We're not really, we don't even know the story. We don't really know what's going on. So don't look at us. And this man comes down some steps. He is draped in silk chemise and rich fur robe. So he is, he hasn't even gotten dressed, basically. But he was told this was important. So he comes down and he says, what is this about? What is this about?
Your lordship, we are envoys sent by Lord Robert, requesting aid.
Oh, Robert, yeah, yeah.
Yes, our lordship has sworn that he will become your vassal if you aid us in our time of need.
Okay, you see his eyes kind of not glaze over, but they kind of get a little bit bigger and like he's trying to be interested. He's like, "Oh, a vassal. Time of need. What are you talking about?"
There is a warband of hundreds of Saxons surrounding the rock at Sarum. It will fall without your aid.
Are you sure you're not talking about Duplain?
Duplain? My bad. Yeah, that one.
All right. That was a ref. But okay, so
yeah, that one.
Okay, well, I have to get dressed, so come with me. Come with me. And he turns around and starts heading back up the stairs.
I come with him.
Okay. And I assume the others, the rest of you, also fall.
No,
you're all. He gestures for all of you to come up.
Yeah.
So, I need to get healed. I'm barely standing.
Right. Yeah, you're struggling. All right. So when you reach his bedchambers, everyone must make a courtesy roll.
Eyes to the ceiling, boys. Eyes to the ceiling.
One more. Oh, we got it. Okay.
No, Aubrey, the other ceiling.
Yeah.
No,
So-
Aubrey, don't look down.
So Aubrey, you walk in, and that's fine. Um, nobody fumbled. Okay. Um. So okay, you see him. He's putting his own pants on. You know, he doesn't have somebody dressing him, and so what are you saying? You said that the boy Robert is surrounded at Duplain and by a bunch of Saxons.
Yes, I describe their encampment as we saw it.
Okay.
Then say,
And then you will roll. You will roll
Okay.
your orate, and you get a +1 for every 1,000 glory you have.
so that would be a +2.
Okay.
And I want to try to invoke my hate of Saxons. Talk about how gross they are, like locusts descending on the land. Or is that not appropriate here?
Well, it can be, I suppose. But then you're going to be speaking with hatred.
Fair. Okay, so I will not do it yet. I will simply roll with my +2.
There are other
On orate.
passions that you might use. But
Yeah,
usually passions are invoked. Certain passions are invoked when you are opposed to that. You're not opposed to him. You're like a hate wouldn't be. You don't hate him, so hating
Right.
Saxons wouldn't really be. But it could be because you're talking about Saxons. You would just be talking with hate in your mind, like, you know, how disgusting they
If
are
you
and stuff
got
like that.
devotion, a high devotion or a homage.
If you do right, devotion, homage, love.
But I don't think those would come up just talking about the Saxon presence.
Well, it doesn't have to come
I'll
up.
just do the roll.
It's in your mind. It's like
Okay.
oh my lord, so much. I better get this right, kind of thing.
Okay, then I will do the homage, Robert.
Okay,
Yeah, you're probably worried about.
homage, Robert is very good.
A success.
Okay, so
so
you get
it'll be for orate for the day.
Right,
Or just
you
the scene?
You get a for the day for this encounter. So yeah,
Yeah.
you get +5.
So +7 total.
Right.
Watch me fumble. Success!
Okay, so you tell a really good tale, but you said you wanted to say something.
Oh, so yeah, I tell him about the encampment as Gwyneth saw it, because I didn't see it. And then I will tell him about King Cerdic made demands. He is trying to engulf all of Britain, starting with Robert.
Oh, really? Well, can't have that. And then he starts putting his shirt on.
Yes. And as I mentioned, Count Robert seeks your aid and
No,
swears
you
to become
mentioned
your vassal.
you mentioned that he'd swear. Well, I don't know if the young boy has much to offer. He is very, for lack of a better term, downtrodden right now, So I don't really know how much he would be offering me. It would be more in his benefit to be my vassal. But you bring up some good points, and we can't just let the boy suffer, at the hands of these Saxons. I will need some time to consider this. Okay. You get 10 glory.
Okie doke.
And he's like, he's putting his boots on, and he's like, yes, wait for me downstairs. When I get fully dressed, I'll have made my decision. Thank you for bringing this to me. Sir Robert chose well.
I thank you for your time, my lord.
My lord, do you have any healers we're battling?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'll have someone.
Chirurgeons.
I'll have someone attend to you after I wake up and get dressed.
Thank you, my lord.
Yes, absolutely.
I back out of the room, bowing excessively because this is a duke.
Right.
I don't know what to do.
That's right. That's about right. You don't need to bow excessively, but but you don't know that.
I'm like, what's the appropriate number?
Well,
Let's just until I'm out the door.
You made your courtesy roll, so that tells me and you that you are aware of the politics, or you're aware of the
Okay.
the mannerisms that you should be taking. The what's the word I'm looking for?
Etiquette.
The etiquette. Yes, thank you. That was the word, actually. Yeah, you know the actual etiquette needed. Where Aubrey might not, he might just say thanks and turns his back and walks out the door or whatever, and that's. But yeah, you guys all head downstairs. You guys have a good breakfast, morning meal again. And after a few minutes, the Chirurgeons come in. There's some ladies in the keep that look like, oh, we would definitely take care of you if you wanted to wait here for 7 days. We could bind your wounds, which they can. They're going to do that anyway. They're binding your wounds, and they're making sure it's all cleaned and not infected and stuff like that. But they don't get to make a chirurgeon roll until the week is up.
Does the Duke need us to travel with him?
We'll find out. He might not even be traveling. He might say no. Okay, so after you guys are taken care of, you got your bandages on and everything like that, the Duke comes down the stairs, and I've been over here frantically looking for his handout that I made like 3 weeks ago, and I don't know where I put it. One of these days I'll find it, but it's an old man. He's an old man. He comes down and he says, "Oh, my friends," and he points at you guys. I see that you're being taken care of by our lovely ladies here, and hopefully your wounds will heal in time. I've decided to come to your lord's aid, which, if I do, then technically I would become your lord as well. indirectly.
When he says he'll come to Robert's aid, I jump in the air and click my heels.
click your spurs together.
Yeah.
Aubrey says that.
Woo!
Thank you, my lord.
Okay, so now let me say that I will require a week to muster my forces and march to Salisbury's aid. You can ride with me under my personal command, members of a mighty host.
We would be honored.
But it will take some time to send the word out and muster the army.
That's fine. We're not in condition to ride anyway.
Right. All right. So at the end of the week, we're going to spend some Kyurgen rolls. You automatically, as long as they don't fumble, you'll automatically get your healing rate back against your hit points, not each wound. Let me make sure, because once you get the wound healed, you can just delete it. Because now it just goes against hit points. And I'm closing all kinds of things. There we go. You are either healthy or debilitated. No middle ground. Nobody's getting any aggravation. Okay. Yeah, you're debilitated when you either go unconscious, get a major wound, get a mortal wound, or fumble the first aid roll. So yeah, just having a low hit points doesn't make you debilitated. Just making sure.
Well, I was unconscious though.
Yeah.
So is Aubrey also debilitated then?
Yeah, if you took a hit that caused what did I just say?
He still has the wound, doesn't he?
Losing hit points below the unconscious characteristic.
So we're all debilitated.
So yeah, okay. Nobody took a wait. If you take a hit from a single blow that is equal to your total hit points, which nobody here did that, that is considered a mortal wound. Okay. That's mortal wound. Okay, never mind. So nobody got mortal wound. Mortal wound causes loss in stats and stuff like that. Deterioration. We're trying to heal. We're trying to heal here. Poison, unconsciousness. Fighting beyond debilitation. It is possible. To do that, you have to make energetic rolls. Here we go. Kyurgery. A successful Kyurgery roll means that deterioration does not occur. Once per week. It occurs on Sunday at noon. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's start with Gwyneth. I'm going to give you a Kyurgen roll. And that is success.
So no deterioration. I gain my healing rate.
Yeah, natural healing restores hit points equal to your healing rate.
Okay.
Activity could limit this, but you didn't have any activity. Like deterioration.
That puts me at 10 hit points, where I believe half is 11. So I am still debilitated.
Healing ray is naturally.
Yeah, your healing ray is your natural healing, which is on your
Okay.
character sheet. Yeah. Yeah, chirurgery, all chirurgery does is prevent it from getting worse.
Yeah, you're just cleaning the bandages, scraping
Yeah.
the burns.
Yeah, you get natural healing.
Ugh.
Yeah. It
That's,
doesn't increase it.
You heal your healing ray every day?
Weak.
Ooh.
It's weak.
Every week?
Weak.
Oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah,
Samson, don't you pagans have like magic to fix things like this?
Oh,
now Sanson's chirurgery roll. What do we got? We got success, so you get to heal. If I crit on a chirurgery roll, then you get additional hit points. But I haven't crit yet. And then Aubrey. Success. Okay.
We're going to be out fishing for a while.
Yeah.
So are we still deliberated or not?
Once you get over half your hit points.
So yes. It's going to take a couple weeks to come back from 1 hit point.
More than a couple.
It's going to take about 3 weeks.
Are you over your unconscious value? When I said you had 1 hit point, what I meant to say was everyone should have been 1 hit point over their unconscious value.
Oh, okay.
Because you were able to wake up.
Well, that puts me at 12, so I am not debilitated.
Okay. So when Sanson was at 1, that's not really true. Because what's your unconscious value? It's pretty high, isn't it?
7.
Yeah, so you would have 8. You would have started 8 hit points.
So I got 11 now.
Now you got 11, right? And is that more than half your hit points? No, right?
We had 22 or 24, I forget.
Yeah, it depends on
I'm
somebody.
at 20 now.
29. So yeah, you have to have you have to have
Everybody's
15.
different hit point.
Yeah, you got to have 15 before you can become undebilitated.
Haha.
But you can still fight. It says it is possible for character or monster to bravely or foolishly continue fighting if their hit points pass their unconscious threshold or after taking a major wound. It's reckless, energetic. You suffer a point of damage aggravating if you fight in a combat round while you're debilitated. Okay. But that's all right. You guys don't have to fight. You can just travel with him. Because they're leaving at the end of the week. Are you guys well? He asks, are you guys well enough to ride?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. As the Silchester army marches south along the banks of the Test, I guess that's the name of the river, King Cerdic, already informed of the relieving force by his scouts, is in a process of lifting the siege and retreats towards Wessex.
He's retreating.
His army is stretched out in a long line between Duplain and the Abbey of the Black Cross. Quite vulnerable. A fanfare of trumpet blasts sound the charge. Ride them all down like dogs, men, the old war duke shouts, standing in his stirrups. A great cheer rises from the Silchester knights as horses are spurred forward. Do you wish to charge as well?
My lord has commanded it.
Well, no, he understands you're injured and you're traveling with them and you're barely holding on.
Oh no, he told me to. I have to.
Okay. Okay. So,
What do you what sorry, what is the penalty for being debilitated?
To do anything, you have to make an energetic roll, and if you succeed, then you can act. If you don't make the energetic roll, then you don't act. But either way, you take a point of damage.
Okay, he will try to get ready for the charge, but then he will his wound will pain him and he'll have to.
Exactly. You're like, I want to go, but oh my God, that hurts so much. Right, exactly. Now, Gwyneth does not have to make an energetic roll. You can just go in. And Sanson, are you going to charge or hang back? Or because you are still wounded, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to take the better part of valor and stand back.
Okay. Yeah, it's understood. Okay, so Gwyneth, you have a opportunity here. You can you still have to roll energetic. There's no penalty for you, but you still have to roll it though.
Well, I dropped my mouse and hit the back button on it. So 1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay. Nope. No problems. He's not there.
Let's see. There's my character sheet. There it is. Okay. Energetic. Rolling against an 11.
Okay.
I failed.
Right.
Take that, Gwyneth.
So now roll vengeful.
Okay. I failed.
Okay.
I'm actually supposed to be a very forgiving person.
If both rolls fail, you roll homage, Robert.
A success.
Okay, so you go charging into Duplain. You don't go charging after the Saxons. You go make sure that Robert's okay. And any players that were captured, nobody was captured. That's good. Okay, so this is a fight. A bunch of knights go chasing off after these Saxons. They kick their butt and they send them packing back to Wessex. It's a little narrative right now. The army ransacks the enemy camp. The loot goes to the Duke Ulfus, as is his right. And the people inside the besieged Duplain, they cheer and welcome him with open arms, and everybody's happy. And there is a very short feast. Every time you eat, it's a feast, but it's not game mechanically a feast. But so you guys have a feast, and during the feast, Robert stands up and publicly swears homage to Duke Ulfius. Ulfius, yeah, grants the Count with the remaining livestock and other loot that the Saxons had plundered from his land. And Robert gratefully accepts them and tells his Sir Leo, he says, distribute this back to the peasants where it belongs. And he's like, yes, my lord. And the Count comes up to you guys and says, I can tell that you've gone through great pains to, literally, and he points at your wounds, to get this message, and you were able to convince him to come, and you guys have done me a great service. I want everyone in this feast hall to know that these are the three that we can show our gratitude because they are the ones that rescued us, which means you each get 50 glory. And glancing over at Ulfius, you can see that he is somewhat inebriated, and he says, leaning on his chair, he says, yeah, I'll give, you guys are all heroes. I'll give you a boon at some time in the future. You might want to write that down.
Very generous, my lord.
Because Derek will forget. Okay. Actually, let me back that up. You don't have to write this down. It's a boon on the spot. What would you like? He just opens up the floor. What do you want?
But that would depend on what he had.
Just use your imagination. What do you want? That I have the right to give.
Libram?
Give that man 4 librams. And somebody like scrounges and finds 4 librams and hands it to you.
Thank you, sir. Lord.
That is a large sum of money. That's the equivalent of a knight's yearly salary. Doesn't have to be money, but it can be money. Who's next?
Aubrey looks. So this is the Duke we're talking to?
Correct. Semi-inebriated Duke Ulfius, who just became the liege lord over Robert.
And for the record, since we're knights and we're living in the hall and stuff, we can't get married, can we? Or what is the etiquette with that?
That's not normal, but it is possible.
Well, Derek told us earlier that we would have to get permission.
Yeah, you can get married as a household knight. Um, your wife or whatever would just live in the same place that you live, but that's a kind of a little unusual because you're brand new, but it's not unheard of.
Uh, and so you usually, oh, he said, he'll say, um, I, I won't marry until I inherit my estate, but, upon that time, I'll need a wife.
You have not spoken something that's untrue.
And, upon my inheritance, if your, uh, if your grace could arrange a suitable marriage for me, I would be uh, most most grateful.
Anyone in particular?
Uh,
Or just
just
someone
out
that
of
would benefit you and me alike?
uh, whatever I would whatever your grace finds most appropriate in return for my service.
Okay. So he gives up like a really big belly laugh, like, oh, okay, that's gonna be. And then he slams his hand on the side of his chair and he says, done. He goes, someone, Harold, write that down. He says, when he inherits his household estate, I will arrange a marriage for him so he will be wed.
Aubrey bows to the Duke.
Okay. So what I meant by that was you need to write that down. Put that down as a note. Because that might not be tomorrow or the next week or whatever. You know, it might be months down the road that this happens and I'll probably have forgotten. So just put that on your under notes. He does grant
Got
you
it.
an arranged marriage at the time of your ascendancy. Well, he looks over at so your voice hasn't spoken.
That's correct. I've been thinking, and the only thing I can come up with.
No, you cannot be thinking. Thinking
Ah,
is the downfall of mankind.
got any spare houses knocking about?
Um,
Well,
and
you'd
then
still have to live in.
he glances over at Robert like because he doesn't he glances over at Robert and Robert looks at him and gives him the no and he's like no, not yet. Anything else?
um, no, Robert provides me with everything I could ask for. Um,
No, right. He does. He's a good lord.
yeah, I
I've
can.
ever since he's been a vassal, he's treated me right.
um,
Ever for like the last 15 minutes.
well, unlike unlike Sir Aubrey here, I don't need help with finding a woman. What I do need help with, I want you to guarantee I can have permission to marry once I win her over.
Who do you have in mind?
Thinking the Lady Gale.
Make an homage Robert passion roll. This does not count against your daily passions.
Success.
Oh, goodness. Robert looks over at him and says, Lady Gale's one of my sister's handmaidens, and she's currently staying at Sarum. She is available.
I fought that
Okay,
duel
so
over her. Some
okay,
people heard about it.
so done. She will marry you before the winter comes, and he looks over at Robert and says, "Arrange for them to have a place to stay at Sarum, and then when she comes upon her inheritance of Boynton Manor, then you can move over into that. But until then, you'll stay a household knight."
Yeah, that's fine. Didn't think I'd get that much.
Let's just hope that Lady Gale agrees to this. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's why I said once I win her over.
No, guaranteed, she's going to marry you. Or else.
Yeah, it'd just be an arranged marriage, unless she wants to marry.
Right, exactly. It'd just be an arranged.
Well, that's not what Mason was asking for. I think Sir Gwynnis being told, hey, you're for sure going to get the pretty lady who took care of you and is also rich. I think he says, okay, yes. Absolutely yes. She'll say yes. I know it.
Was it Sanson who just asked for money?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very practical.
When I'm just going to tell you now, because it's going to happen before the next game session or before the next winter phase. When you marry her, you're going to receive 37 glory.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, but okay. Says now we fade out, and the narrator kind of steps in, and you get this image of the players, the player knights in the background doing their activities, and there's like this, not a montage, but like a montage of things going on. It says the player knights may feel that they have secured a lasting victory. And it is true, they played an important part in staving off immediate disaster. But in the days and weeks that follow, the tally of Serdic's raids becomes all too clear, with numerous manors and fields burned all along Salisbury's eastern border. The new alliance with Silchester means Count Salisbury is no longer standing alone. But even mighty Ulfius cannot hold out forever against a determined foe. Right now, the best hope of Longris is for the Saxons to continue to bicker among themselves, should they find a strong leader to unite them before the British do the same. The war is over, and the Cymri must submit to the Saxons. In the event... Okay, no. That's if you... That's if you failed. Okay. Although you remain members of Count Robert's household, you can expect no boons nor favors anytime soon, as you have your work cut out for you. If they ever expect to earn their lord's trust... Wait, no, what? No, that's if you fail. I'm sorry. That's if you fail. Yeah, yeah. That's if you fail. Okay.
Yeah, we should build up our forces and do a surprise attack on the Saxons.
I know, right?
Get
Well,
some
that might unite them against us.
hire some mercenaries if we have.
Hire some Saxons to fight other Saxons. It's a win-win.
Are there Vikings around? Are the Vikings?
The Vikings are usually way up north. They hit the above the wall usually, or
'Cause
in the Cumbria area.
They hated the English.
Oh yeah, yeah. The mercenary knights that you fought, they're Cymric knights, so you can't like invoke hate against Saxons because they're not a Saxon. They're not those mercenary knights were not Saxons, but they come from Cornwall and Cumbria. They're willing to sell their swords, and it leaves it open because they are hired by Saxons that it is possible that you can do the hate Saxons. But just so you know, if you didn't already know this, this is the end of the 2 scenarios that are in the Game Master's book. So we just finished the Game Master's book, and now I'm moving on to the starter set. Okay, and then after the starter set, then we'll do the Grey Knight. But basically, you're under service of Sir Robert, who's under Duke Ulfius. And we're going to just go ahead and jump straight to the end of the year, which is going to be the winter phase. And then we'll work our way through the winter phase here. You are married. There's a big affair. Basically, a lot of people come. A lot, the squires and the knights that you know are there and in attendance. She is, she's amiable. She wasn't expecting to be told that she had to marry someone, but at least she's happy it was you and not Sir Kenrick.
I do explain the Duke's enthusiastic response to my request. I wasn't expecting you to be told either, but yeah.
There you go.
2 thumbs up.
No, yeah, it's good. You seem to be, I could have done worse.
Well, she liked you anyway.
She did. She liked you quite a bit, actually. You fought for her honor and all that. So yeah, you are married, and Robert sets aside a room in the keep for you. You don't have your own house. You don't have your own place.
I'm not sleeping at the dinner table anymore.
But you're not sleeping at the dinner table, right?
Suck it.
Mainly because of Lady Gale, not because of you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let me pull up the winter phase and let's go through that. It is a step-by-step system. And there's going to be maybe some interactions during the winter phase. It's a big deal. Let's go ahead and have Gwyneth go first. The first thing I need is a personal event. You don't have to roll anything. I want to know if I have my rollable tokens. Personal events. Let me make sure it's the right table. 14.1. It is. Okay. So maybe I can just roll on it. There it is. What came up? Do you see that? Energetic. Okay. Your zealous commitment to fulfilling your daily tasks is an example to others. You earn 2 free points to apply to your skills during step 8.
Yes.
Even if you choose the option other than skill training. Okay. That's all. No, you don't get that.
Oh.
You have to roll energetic.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, well, success.
Okay. It's a success. You work hard all winter.
It's a shame that a 1 isn't a crit.
Right. A crit would have been you got those 2 free points.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do I get anything for succeeding?
Yeah, you worked real hard this winter.
Okay.
So no.
Good to know.
So no,
Can I
you
check
didn't.
energetic?
Only if you fumbled or crit.
Oh.
If you fumbled, well, we won't get into that until somebody else gets it. Okay,
Yeah.
so who's next on my list? It looks like Sanson. You're next on my list. Let me see what the personal event is. It is modest or proud. Okay, what does it tell me what number that is? It doesn't. I have to find it. Okay. Merciful. I would think it'd be close to that. Modest or proud. Okay. You can roll either modest or proud. Oh. Okay. Oh, FYI, everybody is fully healed. Because by Easter to winter, that's enough weeks for you to get all your hit points back. Okay, so everybody should have no wounds, not debilitated, fully healed. FYI. Okay, your exuberant boasting gravely offends another knight who demands an apology. It's just one simple melee roll. So I have to determine the skill level of your opponent. What? Oh, I rolled the wrong thing. What am I doing? He has a skill of 10, and you can use any weapon skill, melee weapon skill. I'm going to roll, and I roll a success. Let's see what you get. It's like a simple duel. It's a quick duel. We're not going through every single round, but you also succeeded, but with a higher roll than I did. Okay. Success. Your boast about your deeds and gain glory equal to your appearance. Yeah, you basically were talking smack about how you fought through being debilitated and being the last one standing in the fight. And he's like, yeah, that's bullshit. And you guys did a little strike back and forth and you won. Glory equal to your appearance. Okay, we got that out of the way. Okay, and then Aubrey, let's get you a personal event as well. Spiritual. Okay. That kind of fits in with you.
Yeah, that fits.
It is a... I'm assuming... Okay, Okay, they got devotion on here as well, but... There is a spiritual stat, and I think that's what you're rolling against.
Yeah, spiritual is a trait.
Yeah. And we got a failure. Okay. So
I guess I should have rolled my devotion to God passion in there.
not a fumble, though. Okay, I was there, and then I clicked away from it, and then now I can't find it again. Hang on. Spiritual. Okay. Failure. If worldly. Okay, since you failed spiritual, you have to roll worldly. You know, the opposite. Also a failure. Okay. Okay. If worldly succeeded, you would have lost devotion. But because they were both failures, it's kind of like a wash. Nothing happened really of any importance. Said something about failing to go to mass. Okay, so personal events done.
He's worried about that interaction with the woman in the woods, and before he goes to mass, he wants to get like purified by a priest or something.
Right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Father Brugan will definitely help you with that.
So,
And he'll donate a lira to the church.
A librum? Really?
Yeah.
A lira or a pound? Okay, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Okay. If you have it. Yeah. What were you asking there, Mason?
Oh, I was going to say, not only was the interaction with that woods lady very, very odd and concerning. Hey, what happened to the Saxons that knocked us out instead of killing us in the first place?
There was only one.
Well, there were others still chasing.
Correct.
Weren't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so where'd they go?
Who knows?
Who is this lady? Is anyone else very worried about her?
He's probably a druid.
I don't think a druid gets rid of Saxons.
Well, a lot of females have magic. Like, what was that one that was against Guinevere? What's her name?
Everybody,
Morgan
okay,
Le
at this point,
Morgana Le Fay?
Yeah, there is Morgan, but she's not even born yet. There is, well, no, actually, she might be born, actually, because I think she's Arthur's older sister. But either way, roll all your skill checks and passions and traits. Remember, you want to roll higher than the value.
So we want to fail the roll right now.
If you just want to roll it and then say failure, yeah. A failure means it goes up by 1 point.
Yeah.
So we were rolling the
What about a fumble?
That's still a failure.
Only one? Okay. Well, I really like working for Robert.
Yeah, every check. And once you roll it, then just remove the check.
Every check.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity, but there were some.
I'm
All right.
good.
Everybody done with the skill checks? Yeah, if you succeed, then you rolled too good for it to go up. All right, so economic circumstance, because everyone is being taken care of, you're basically household knights. You don't have to really spend any money on any upkeep or clothing or anything like that. So we just skip past that mostly. Now you do have an opportunity to ask for more money if you have something that you want or you need the money. But what you're doing when you do that is you're if he had any kind of like affinity score towards you, it'd be heading away from you if you ask for more than what he's offering. Anybody want to ask for extra?
Nah.
Nope.
Right. Aging. Everybody gets 1 year older, and so does your squires. Is anyone 35 years old? I don't think so. Once you hit 35, now you're starting to worry about senility and infirmity. But you don't have to worry about any of that. Okay, let me skip past senility and that and this. Okay. Infirmity, decrepitude. Okay. Squires. Everyone here should have a skill under squire skill and knight skill. I think we just skipped past knight skill the last time.
Knight skill.
For your squires.
I don't see a thing for that.
Yeah, we don't have
It's
no.
on your character sheet.
Yeah, let's go down to your character. Scroll down to where it says squire.
It's
There's
below passions besides attacks, and it says
That's,
age and skill.
Skill 13.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
that's-
squire skill, but I don't
that's
have a
squire
knight
skill.
skill.
but not knight skill. Okay.
No.
Yeah, that might be why we skipped past it. Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. A knight, just so you know, in the future, knight skill is usually their age minus 9.
11.
No, their age minus 9.
Oh, the squire's age?
Yeah,
Oh, 6.
right. And you know
Oh.
you can't be a knight until you get a 10 knight skills.
Oh, that's okay.
Mine started out at 17, but it said he was a powerful, this heir of a powerful lord.
No.
That's
You're
the
looking
squire
at you're
skill.
looking at squire skill. I'm talking about
That's what I
knight.
mean.
I'm talking about knight skill.
Where does that go?
It's anywhere. It's a note. You can put a
I
note,
guess because
or you
it's
can
their
actually
age minus 9, there's,
you can
there's
actually-
no reason to put it.
you can actually put
Yeah,
add.
there's,
You can put add. You can add a skill if you want.
Oh. Yep. Okay. Name is knight. 6.
I wonder why it's not letting me delete this. I just made it. Modify. The delete button doesn't work. Okay, I'm not worried about it. Yeah, it's the age minus 9. So as they age, their knight skill goes up by 1 every year. Okay, squires. At age 21, they're normally released. If they don't reach knighthood, then blah, blah, blah. Let's see if they depart and other things. Skill improvement. Okay. You can try to improve skills of your supporting and background characters. All skills and passions, including the squire skill, have a chance to progress. Okay, let's talk about knight skill. If you have a knight skill of 6 for your squire, and you want to raise it, you don't actually raise the knight skill. What you do is you break it off into a new skill like swordsmanship or horsemanship, and you can try to raise that. But the knight skill would stay the same. That's just any like unique or specialty skills that you want to focus on, which you can. Or you could just raise your squire skill, but the knight skill encompasses all of them, all of the knight skills, if they ever needed to perform a duty. Okay, so if they're less than 15, automatically increase 1 point per year up to the value of 15. This is any skill. Once they become 15 to 20, then you have to roll dice. And yeah. Okay, horse survival. Mainly you don't really have to make this roll because you don't own a horse that you have to deal with. You basically have been issued a horse, and if anything ever happened to it, you would just be given another horse. So you don't have to deal with this. Mainly only because you're household knights. Once you venture off and you become your own person or your own lord, then you have to deal with stuff like this. Yeah, there's normally
Owning
a horse
versus renting.
Exactly. FYI, when a horse is injured, they never heal. Just FYI. They always stay injured. We'll get into that if that ever becomes important. Okay. Now, training and practice. This is for you personally, not your squire. We're already past all that. You can do one of a variety of things. You can either change a personality trait. You add 1 to a trait, increasing the opposite or decreasing the opposite if you want. Yeah, select one of the following. And you can add or subtract 1 point from any passion. You can change a characteristic. You can add 1 point to strength, dex, con, or appearance. Size means you would be getting fat. But you only have to worry about that after age 21. So I think you're all at 20 right now. So you don't have to worry about your getting fat. And then the next one is train skills. You can add 6 to your skills in any combination up to the level of 15, or 1 point to 1 skill if it's over 15. Did all that make sense? I hope it did. So this is where you start deciding where you want to put that. Personality, passion, characteristic, or a bunch of skills, or 1 skill.
This is either or.
Right, it's one of any of these.
6 we could put in skill.
You want to put 6 points into your skills? Okay, it can be trained up to level 15. This way. Anything over requires only 1 skill. So, Gwyneth, what are you planning on doing?
I'm going to do a characteristic then.
Okay.
And so it's just 1 point.
1 point, 1 characteristic.
I'm putting it into size.
There you go. You're going to get bigger.
Oh, my hit points went up, and so did my knockdown and my unconscious.
What about your damage?
My damage still says 4d6.
There you go. There you go. All right. And what about Sanson? What are you planning on spending? You're going to do the 6 skills. What about Aubrey?
6 skills as well.
Okay. Yeah, you get the best overall balance out of the skills, but sometimes if you're weak, you want to build up that strength, so I get that. Okay. Next thing is glory. No, what is the next? Glory. Add up all the glory from the previous year's play, but guess what? We've already done all that. We've already added it directly in. I'm not about having 2 numbers that represent the same thing. From adventures and quests and all that. Okay, prestige. Okay, now this we haven't done. At every 1,000 points of glory, you receive a prestige reward. You may choose not to spend them right away, or you can spend them right now. And what these prestige points are, you should probably get 3 or 4 of them, I'm guessing, somewhere in that neighborhood. You can raise a characteristic by 1 point. No restrictions. Except for racial limitations. Okay. You can lower a passion. You can guarantee that your heir is born healthy, and you can prefer its gender. Or you can guarantee for any other child born to be healthy. Okay, it doesn't have to be the heir.
And is this a one-time thing for the winter after you hit that 1,000?
No, every winter you're going to get prestige rewards based on your glory. 1 point per 1,000.
Okay.
If they can only be spent during the winter phase, but you can save them for a future winter phase.
Okay, so they carry over.
They carry over.
Then I have 2, and I think I'll put them both into characteristics. 1 for strength and 1 for size.
Okay. You're basically working on your body all year.
Yes.
Well, you were working hard, so. Just let me know, Sanson and Aubrey, when you guys are done with your points.
What's the name of these points again?
Prestige rewards.
So we have a total of. Do we get any from the first winter session, or just these now?
You did get them, and you did spend them.
All right, Aubrey will put 1 point into size, so Aubrey will have
Okay, but that's only 1. So how many glory do you have? Because you get one for every
Uh,
1,000 glory.
Yeah, he has 2,120.
So you get 2.
Yeah, so he'll dock 1 and spend 1.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. You can do that. Sanson, you good?
Yep.
All right. Moving on to family. Guess what? One of you has a family. Optional, extended, no.
So Aubrey, are you your father's heir?
Yes.
No older siblings or anything?
They're all girls, so he's fine.
Ah, nice. How's the old dad doing?
Not well, apparently.
Well, he's just old. You know, he's doing fine. He's just old. Okay, the ongoing history of a knight's family members is determined in the step discovering what occurs to them. Okay. Natural events. It may happen anytime during the year, but is determined during the winter phase. Before a birth of a child, a prestige reward may guarantee the health of the child. Okay. The woman must roll a con. Are you trying to have a child?
Yes.
Okay. Damn.
But I don't think she could give birth this winter.
But she can be conceived.
Oh, but yeah, trying.
She could be conceived.
Yeah.
I don't think I have all of. Oh, maybe I do. I do. Okay, good. I'm glad I did this. What is her con? She has a 15 con. She is lasting.
Wow.
She is lasting all night. She also has a 15 dex. Just throwing that out there.
I've got an 18 con.
And a 17 app. Okay, she's only
all
9.
The needlework she could do with that dex.
She's a 9 strength. She has 25 hit points. Okay, never mind. Let me move on.
Okay, so she's built like a bear. But a really pretty bear?
No, she has a 9 strength.
Okay. She's just sturdy.
10 size. Okay.
Proper British lady.
Minus 10 if she had a child last year. Minus X, which is her age over 35. She is 25. 26. Okay, she's 26.
Oh, God, she's a spinster.
Well, I don't know what age she is, but she was born 484.
Yeah, so she's 26.
Yeah, but she's not over 35. She's not poor. She's not impoverished. Okay. It says, if not specified, assume they have a 13. Well, she doesn't. She has a 15. And she rolls an 11. Okay. So it's not a critical. Healthy child born. So roll a die. It could be any die. It's an odd even roll.
Even.
Okay. A girl on an even roll. So you have a daughter. You need to name her.
Gwendolyn.
Yeah, all right.
And so she'll be born next winter?
No, she sometime during the year. But yeah, you would count it as next year, yeah.
I'm just going to put next year as her birth year then. Or I guess it would sometime this year in 509. Okay.
Child survival. What the heck? I got to roll that. Okay.
Oh, yeah, man. It's like 5%. So I will prepare to write daughter Gwendolyn dies.
Baby shoes never worn.
No, you don't.
509.
That didn't happen yet. Midwifery. No. Blessed birth.
Well, they were worn, but only for like a week.
How do you get to that? And okay, got to check after its first year. Okay, let's see if he can survive. Okay, that's it. So it has stats, but it's inconsequential right now. So let's not even worry about it. It's a baby.
It's got a strength of like 1.
Yeah. It has +2 con because of the Cymric, and it has whatever your family's modifier was. Do you remember?
For con?
No, that's Cymric.
Okay, yeah.
There was a family modifier that you rolled, a family trait, I should say, that you rolled that gave you skills or something.
Oh, I do not remember.
Okay.
And I'm not seeing where I wrote the stuff down. Thought I did, though.
It's culture. We got that, and then there's trying to give you a hint of what they sound like. But it was things like miserly and plain and stuff. I don't know.
I remember I was an orphan from the sewers.
That's your historical background thing.
Yeah. Oh, you mean from, did we do Heroes of Legend?
We did, but that's not what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
It's an in-game
Man, then I would
trait.
know what it was.
It's an in-game trait.
Let me
trying to
check my
find the chart.
I
desktop.
Here
don't
it
think
is.
we went over it.
We did. Yeah, everybody got a chance to roll this. Family characteristic. It was either perceptive, marital, poetic, well-bred, sprightly, seductive, bird lover, healer, astute, clever, equestrian, scheming, silver-tongued, literate.
No, we didn't do that.
We did it.
I remember hearing these.
Musical, devout, melodic, clodhopper, and Gilfried. I know one of you was a clodhopper. I think that might have been Pheromond.
Are these
We wrote it down.
in a handout by any chance?
They are.
Okay, let me see if I can find it.
I might not have given you the handout.
Oh, well, that would definitely make looking for it harder.
Yeah. So let me get to the.
If I could just get like the names.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the table. Here it is. Table 3.8 is your horses. Here it is.
Okay.
I remember this.
I had stewardship written somewhere when I was just looking through my sheet.
You might have been the
Not as like
clodhopper.
not as like a skill, but I had made a note.
Every one of
somewhere
these
about
added.
like,
Every one of these added 3 to your skills.
yeah. Um, Barbarian urban. Oh no, the steward was a life event that I rolled
Okay.
from Heroes of Legend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's not worry about it right now. But this, your kid inherits your family characters.
I'll see what I can find, and I will make a note of it.
Yeah. Yeah. No worries. Okay.
So
So
it's probably going to be one of my higher skills, though.
it would be at least probably 12, maybe, or something. I don't know. Maybe not. Because if it added to something that was only a 5, it could be at least an 8. It can't be anything less than an 8.
Yeah. That might be where my religion came in.
Possibly. But that's the end of the winter phase. So now we're going to open up the next little thing and kind of just get us started before we end the stream. Okay? Because I don't want to get too in the weeds before we get started. Plus, I want to make sure I got everything prepared for it. Here we go. The year is 510. Just in bold letters. Okay, this is just a summary. I don't want that. Okay, it says the year is 510, albeit just so. The 9th day of January, to be precise. The cold, gray, leaden skies of winter mirror the mood of the land. There have been none to wear the crown of Longres since the death of King Uther 15 years ago, the last High King of Britain. Uther's brother, Aurelius Ambrosius, died 30 years ago. All of Britain suffers under the depredations of rapacious, I love these, man, just throwing these big words at me that I don't even know what half of them are. Ambitious barons and opportunists, raiders. You are gathered in Londinium to attend a grand tournament, the first of its kind. Shortly after the new year, It's bound to be one of the great events of your lives. For it is the tournament that a new high king shall be appointed. So the nobility say. Londinium is far and away the largest settlement in all of Britain, and the most remarkable. Pit of filth and iniquity, iniquity you have ever seen. So it is the most remarkable pit of filth. Okay. It's claustrophobic. Lanes swim with garbage and offal. And the burghers and guildsmen of the city seem to have little respect for the knights of their station, the cads. Most knights find cities strange and repellent, with some who feel they go against all natural order of things. Fortunately for you, you are among, with all other entrants in the Grand New Year tournament, are encamped outside the city walls. The merchants and thieves mix with the common masses among the ersatz lanes of the colorful tent town, where banners of counts, barons, dukes, and kings flutter limply in the chill breeze. The unwashed masses, and more than a few knights and squires, amuse themselves with bohorts, bear baiting, and other martial games. But most of the lords in attendance are focused on the big prize. The winner of the upcoming tournament will become High King of Britain. And you're entered to participate. You are in I'm going to interpose here. You're in attendance with Robert, knowing that it's a big deal, and this is the first time it's happened. You have traveled here to specifically participate and maybe make a name for yourself or himself. Maybe become king. You never know, right? So hopefully you guys can become king of England or Britain. The tournament itself is to be a grand melee, a sort of mock battle fought with blunted weapons, which some praise while others dismissively mock. If you wish, you may go sightseeing inside the city the day before the grand melee, or go shopping in one of Londinium's many open-air markets. Those who stroll Londinium's streets inevitably wind up at the grand pile of St. Paul's Cathedral, a massive Roman basilica. In the courtyard outside is a remarkable sight, a sword driven into an iron anvil set atop a rock. The rock bears an inscription, but you can't read, so there you go. You guys can make, we're still kind of in the narrative beginning, but everybody can make an intrigue roll if you'd like. This intrigue roll is to recall something. Gwyneth made it. Sanson made it. And remember, if you crit or fumble, you can check it. But you recall that it says something about whosoever pulls this sword from the stone is rightwise king of all of Britain. Okay. Okay, player. Okay. Who has the highest spiritual trait?
Aubrey has 18.
That's pretty high.
He probably has high.
Okay, so you catch sight of a strange figure moving through the crowd, an aged, haggard-looking man in flowing, tattered robes, a crazed twinkling in his eye. Surely it must be the magician Merlin. What is he doing here? Do you tell your brothers that you see this man and you think he's Merlin? Or do you keep that to yourself?
Yes, he'll point him out.
Okay, in that case, everyone can make a trusting or suspicious roll. You get a -5 trusting and a +5 suspicious. So it's very hard to trust, but very easy to be suspicious. That includes yourself, actually.
I failed my trusting roll.
Right. So Aubrey's a little suspicious.
So do I then roll the other one?
Just say it gives me an example. Oh, okay. Everyone had to roll trusting first. Sorry. You do roll the other one if you fail.
What is the
It's your
modifier for
trusting -5. Okay.
I made it.
Okay.
I am suspicious.
Okay. It's weird the way they got this written. If the first roll succeeds, you do not have to roll the second, obviously. Award a check for a critical. Also, members fumble. Okay, right. Okay, we already did that. If you succeeded with your trust, you've heard that Merlin is the last of the old druids, and through his ways are often inscrutable. He has Britain's best interest at heart. Those who succeed in suspicious have heard he is the literal spawn of the devil, and that has been through his machinations and schemes that good King Ulthar met his doom. So basically, he was the cause of your good king's death. Okay, but he's moving around.
Why is he permitted to live?
These are just rumors, things that you've heard, right? Well, druids aren't. You're not. It's not against the law to be a druid. Okay. And then wandering through the city carry additional risks, and we're going to deal with that next week. Yeah. So basically, you just came to Londinium. I think I have a map. It's very vague, but yeah, there's some math, and I think you're near Fleet Street, actually. Yeah, over on the far left, Watling Street, Fleet Street. I think you're camped over there. G is the St. Paul's Cathedral. That's where the Sword in the Stone is. Looks like Lud's a big person. He probably has a castle here. Yeah, lots of stuff. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to explore London. Londinium next week and participate in a tournament to become king. Maybe you become king. We all know the story. We all know the story. Now there is.
Gwyneth doesn't.
Truly, that is correct. There is a whole chapter in the book about historical events. Well, semi-historical because it's all fake, but the events that happen in the books as opposed to events that happen in the game, and they're not always going to be the same. Because what if, hypothetically, hopefully this never happens, but what happens if somebody gets a crit on Arthur and he actually gets his head cut off and never meets Guinevere and all that? See, that's possible. That kind of stuff can happen in the game. Probably not, but also there's a section about witnessing great events as opposed to participating in great events. So just understand that sometimes you are an onlooker. You're not always the center. It's like Gwyneth Paltrow told Tony Stark, it's not always about you. Even though you want it to be. All right, so did you guys have fun tonight?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I did. I had fun. I like to see where this story goes. I did have somebody inquire about joining the game, but he hasn't replied to me. This was over a week ago. He said, "Oh, I'd like to get in your game," and then I replied, and silence. So there's a possibility out there that we might have another player, but until then. I don't mind playing with just 3 players as long as you guys are okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Oh, good. It's more glory for you guys because you don't have to divide it by 4.
Of course.
All right, guys. You guys take care, and I will catch you next week.
All right, have a good one.
Oh! Dang! I wanted to do something this week. You know what I'm going to do? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. I'm going to I'll put it in Discord. I'll put a list in Discord. I want you guys to choose your family's residence. And tell me a little bit about it. Flesh it out a little bit. Nothing too, not multiple paragraphs, just something simple. Like if it's a farming village or, whatever it is. But I'm going to give you a list of potential estates. Just pick one. I'll probably put a map in there as a handout so you can tell where all these places are. I might even drop it in Discord because I wanted to do that. I wanted to flesh your families out a little bit. All right, what was that you were going to say? Nothing? Okay. All right, well, I'll catch you next week then. You guys take care.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to say this also to the players watching. I got Sean in there saying good adventure this evening. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate you. This is more... The reason why I'm streaming it is more of a recorded record of what happened. See now, the case where some of my players said that we didn't go over the family backgrounds. I know I did because it's in bold letters in the creating a character. So if I was recording those, I could always just go back and look at the video and say, oh, look right here. This is what you said. This is what we rolled. But because I didn't start recording until like the 3rd session, we don't have that. unfortunately. If we have to re-roll, we can always re-roll. It's no big deal. But yeah, mainly it's a video record of the adventure, but it's also to share, to let everybody see what the game's all about and everything. And if you notice on my stream, I've got this mountain here in the woods and the water. At the last minute, I forgot that Pheromond was not going to be playing with us, so I put that in there just to cover up his face. So people didn't get distracted or, confused or whatever. All right, guys. And if I'm not going to be putting the players' cameras up, right? Because that's what this section down here is set up for. It's my camera's not even. Oh, I closed Discord, but if oh really, I should have expanded that so it'd be more online. But okay, no big deal. But the if we're not going to have the players' cameras turned on ever, because we've been playing for quite a bit now, then I could shrink this bottom bar down to almost non-existent. That way, you get more of a picture of the town or whatever map or whatever we're doing. And there you go. I should have been at full screen. So there are a lot of things I didn't do this week, but that's okay. I will be on later tonight. I think I'm going to be playing Star Citizen. I don't think I'm going to be doing Skyrim tonight. Unless Star Citizen doesn't install. I was trying to install it earlier, like right before this game, and it got right to the end and then had an error. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to log out. I'm going to try to download it, and then later jump back in with some Star Citizen. All right, guys, everybody out there, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to hit the notification icon so when we do go live or whenever I go live, you'll be notified. Also, I really appreciate anybody's comments or feedback or whatever in the game, as long as it's not spoilery. And because I don't want any players that happen to watch the game to see spoilers. Also, rules questions. I don't mind if it's a question, but if you're trying to teach me the rules, I don't appreciate that. If you have a question about a rule, like why did they get a +5 when they're on a horse or something like this, then I can explain, like, okay, this is the rules. I have not done a rules walkthrough yet. I do plan to do that for Pendragon. I don't feel like I am personally qualified to do that just yet. Maybe after a month or two of playing the game, then I can do that and then share that with you. But as of right now, I still consider myself a novice. All right, well, I'm going to log out and I'll download that game if I can remember, and maybe see you in an hour or two. All right, you guys take care.